I wasn't going to cover any more Brie Larson stuff for a while, but at least this isn't a Captain Marvel video. Look forward to my analysis on that when I finally get around to it. Unless YouTube blanket censors it, of course. Have you ever taken a big gulp from a milk jug, only to realize that it expired a year ago, and you just swallowed a bacteria lake of rancid hell? And then, as an automatic reflex, the rancid milk becomes an exploding fountain of vomit that spews in all directions. Well, Unicorn Store is kind of like that, only in movie form. Now you might say, can't you just leave Brie Larson alone? Under normal circumstances, maybe, but considering she went out of her way to, once again, prove what a lovely person she is, then I have no problem pointing out what a complete and utter disaster this, her first attempt at directing, is. A few weeks ago, Netflix posted this. So excited for the trailer for Unicorn Store, an absolutely charming, heartfelt exploration of all the things that drive us, and the creativity that adulthood often tries to extinguish. You didn't even watch the trailer, let alone the movie, before posting this. Did you, Netflix? Then Joe Gill, who's just a regular person on Twitter, was far kinder to the trailer than I would have been. LOL, this looks blah. Take notes from Jonah Hill, who was mentored by Martin Scorsese, and took years before he made his directorial debut, out of respect for the artistry of the film and the position of director. This seems like she's just riding Captain Marvel's wave. Then Netflix virtue signals Larson's resume, and Larson retweets Netflix. She's a terrible, conceited, and outright nasty person, even by Hollywood standards. She is also the most protected actor in history. I can't really think of another instance where the internet was censored to protect a spoiled rich girl in quite this way before. A few points of clarification. This pile of ass actually premiered at the Toronto International Film Festival, one of them many woke festivals, although this one is partially paid for by my tax dollars. Oh goody. Back in September 2017. After that, it looks like nobody wanted to buy distribution rights to the pile of liquid excrement known as Unicorn Store. That is until Netflix decided that woke poison like dear white people wasn't enough, so they decided to virtue signal away and picked up the distribution rights to this pile of ass. Well, Netflix, again, I say, maybe you should have actually watched what you were purchasing because now you look like morons. As for Jonah Hill, Mid-90s is an excellent movie. I own it on Blu-ray and highly suggest checking it out. Disclaimer and spoiler, my apologies and sympathies to the poor horse that was forced to humiliate itself by appearing in this film. Poor guy got a horn stuck on his head and then hung his head in shame after being painted rainbow colors. Let's start a GoFundMe for the poor horse. He's going to need counseling. So, just what is Larson's brilliant directorial debut all about? Again, I'd say spoilers, but does it really matter? Larson plays a social retard named Kit, who, like many SJW millennials, has failed at life. Kit doesn't relate well to regular humans, so basically Larson was just playing herself. We start with watching her throw paint and glitter at a wall during some art exhibition college testing thing like a fucking idiot. I guess this is what they call the everybody gets a trophy generation. Just throw shit at the wall and see what sticks. After managing to fail out of art college, and honestly, how fucking stupid you have to be to fail out of art college, she moves back home with her parents and spends her days being sad and watching TV. At this point, I was sad. I was sad that I was watching this movie. And even sadder because I had to finish it to make this video. Larson's whole performance was just weird and very uncomfortable to watch. I have no idea what the hell she was going for here, and I don't think she did either. After some terrible forced drama with her parents, who are portrayed as fucking morons, cause you know, white people over 30 just ain't with it, yo, or definitely white males, Kit signs up at the temp agency and gets a job right away at some advertising firm. Ever notice how every movie and TV show starring a spoiled princess always has them working in the publishing industry? Funny that. Oh, and what happens at her temp job? She gets sexually harassed by her white male boss. What a twist. I never saw that coming. Then she decides she's an ad whiz and creates this performance art piece for a vacuum, which might be the strangest and dumbest thing I've ever seen put to film. Then we have Samuel L. Jackson, himself dressed like a fucking pink unicorn, or perhaps as a mental patient. I'm not sure. In true millennial fashion, Jackson tells Kit that she's special and deserving of a unicorn, but she has to live up to some stupid requirements. Poor unicorn. The movie seems to be focused on repeatedly telling us how special Larson is. Just nobody seems to realize it. Then we have a budding romance between her and her friend who works at the hardware store that she hires to build a house for her poor unicorn, which is just cringeworthy. In the end, through a series of contrived and very painful to watch misadventures, Larson wins the unicorn, but then gives it away. Who came up with this shit? You can't even say this film's so bad it's funny, because it's just uncomfortable to watch. I almost felt bad for Larson, but then I remembered, It's Larson. I guess there is some humor here. She has her head so far up her own ass that she thinks she's God's gift to the movie industry. There's just something so satisfying about seeing her fall flat on her ass. Even from a technical standpoint, this film is a disaster. Unlike Larson, I don't claim to be a movie director, but this is one of the most awkwardly shot films I've ever seen. Even someone with little to no knowledge of the art of cinema should be able to tell that whoever is behind the camera has no fucking idea what they're doing. I mean, Jesus, she doesn't even understand the basics of how to frame a shot. The performances are amongst the worst I've ever seen, and there actually are some good actors in this movie. Gee, I wonder who is responsible for that. The film has a 58% critic score on Rotten Tomatoes. I wonder why it's even that high. Oh yeah, nobody is allowed to be critical of Queen Larson. As I said, I think our friend Joe is being far too kind. This film's not just bad, it's Battlefield Earth and Batman and Robin level bad. Honestly, one day they'll make a movie about this woman, because Brie Larson is stranger than fiction. Actually, I'm not even sure she's human. And that's it for today. Don't forget to subscribe, and make sure you're still subscribed, because YouTube has been deleting subscribers from my channel ever since I criticized Queen Larson, and follow me on Twitter. And as always, everyone, thank you for watching, and have a great day.